Farah again. How are you? Thank you for listening to us.
Hi, this is Alex, and thank you for joining our podcast for the second episode. Woo! Also, we'd like to address a special thanks to everyone who shared our social media posts, our emails, and tweets and whatnot. Just thank you very much for the support on this starting podcast.
Please continue following us. I'm pretty sure we'll not bore you to death.
We should release content every day or so, and release new episodes at least once a week.
That's the aim. All right, moving forward. So we're going to start with updates of our project. So I think I'm still at the same point during the last podcast. I'm still trying to decide questions to annotate from research papers. How about you, Alex?
Well,
any progress?
I actually have got some data.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
I stayed late until, they basically had to kick us out of the lab last night because we were going to do some works at 6 o'clock and we had to
Did
finish.
they actually kick you guys out?
No, but we finished about a few minutes beforehand, but it was really intense getting all of the work done before that, trying to make it sure that everything's working, you've done the right setup and whatnot. But yes, we finally got some data, but the only downside is it's not the data we were expecting.
Well, any data is better than nothing.
Yeah, no, true. So we got the responses, we got the curves, but it's showing us weaker response than we'd anticipated. So we're going to adjust the protocol.
To amplify the response.
No, we're just going to adjust it to make sure that we got more substance because we might have lost some during centrifugation steps.
Oh, talking about centrifuge.
But yeah, it's a great big success because there was a few hurdles along the way, such a few problems with a centrifuge, not being sure which samples were to keep and not. I had labelled the tubes, but it's just, they look so similar, one centrifuge, that it was a bit, But yeah, no, so we got data, it worked.
Good for you.
Yeah.
How long have you been waiting for this? The whole process?
Probably 4 months now.
Oh my God.
At least. But no, to the listeners, I've not been just sitting idly in the lab. I've been preparing stuff. I've been 3D printing the holders, getting sure the strips would work, finding stuff, basically loads of CAD, lots of research, lots of purchasing to come up to this moment where we can finally start in the lab.
Okay, fair enough. So listeners, this is an example of a real life issues in the lab. You don't just go in and start your experiment. There's lots of planning and thinking to do.
Well, basically shows that to do research, you have to have perseverance. That is
Very true.
one of the key skills you need to have.
Oh my gosh, should we talk about the blackout? I thought it was funny because I was asleep.
It was
Everything went off. I was like, what happened?
One, I'm not surprised you were asleep, not gonna lie. And two, no, it was actually quite, I wouldn't say stressful, but it was eventful on our side because literally the lights went off at 4 p.m. on Thursday this week. So it was the 28th. No, not Thursday, what am I saying?
Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday, so the 27th. And they stayed off for about 2 hours in our lab.
But not in my side.
Yeah, but it wasn't just the lights. It was all the fridges, the -80, the cell cultures, everything was off. So we had to run around the lab just flicking every switch off. So we're sure that when the power came back on, there wouldn't be a short circuit that caused it to go back off or something that would cause damage to the machines or whatnot. But yeah, so you could see people not running around, but walking quickly towards the -80 or the cell cultures being like, my samples. I wouldn't say it was funny, but on the moment it was...
It was stressful.
Yeah.
But as a spectator, I bet it'll be funny.
Yeah, it would.
2 years.
But at least it was a good
down the line.
excuse to leave the lab early on that day because nothing was working.
I'm there's no power, so why am I here?
Exactly.
I came back after 10 minutes.
It didn't, it literally, your lights went off and then 10 seconds later they came back on. They didn't stay on that long.
No, yeah.
I was looking through the window. I could see your office.
I know, and then you say you saw me walking around in a scarf.
Not in a scarf, but in a shawl.
A scarf, what's the difference?
A scarf is around your neck, a shawl is you can put on top of your...
Oh, well, because I was wrapping my body with it. It was a bit cold in my office. So I was sleeping, so I wrapped myself with this scarf, make myself cozy, and went to sleep.
But yeah, so that was the eventful Wednesday evening that we had in the lab. Luckily enough, we didn't have experiments going on at the time, so didn't miss much.
Well, maybe on your side, what about other groups though?
I don't know.
Because apparently some PhD students in my lab, because they didn't save their programming stuff, and they just go, poof, lost.
Well, see, what you need to do is save in the cloud and click save about every 10-20 minutes each time you finish a paragraph, because at least you know you got something saved. That's my tip.
That's your tip of the day. Or what would be useful is to do in Google Docs. Like if you're writing something, you do it in Google
Or do
Docs.
it in Word and save a file in OneDrive, because it will save automatically.
Does it auto-save, is it?
Yeah.
I never use my OneDrive, I don't know what to do with
you probably
this.
need to update the Word on your MacBook for that to happen.
Oh, this is on my work computer, though, it's on PC.
But yeah, on your computer, it should work fine.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Never mind. All my time wasted. And listeners, I just found out if someone review your essays or your work, when they comment it, you can accept it. I did not
She
know
means
that.
when someone toggles track the changes, you can accept or reject the change to the document.
I just usually leave it and I'll just retype it in a new document because I didn't know you can do that.
That must have been so time consuming.
It was. I thought this is how life's supposed to be as a student. I'm doing my undergraduate and now I'm like in my master's, finally found out about this
Oh God.
feature. No one told me. How do you find out?
I just right-clicked and I saw the option and I thought, well, let's do it. Let's accept the change. Oh, that worked. Okay, let's continue. That's how I found out.
Guys, I'm 26-year-old and I just found out about this. Never too late to learn new things.
It is never too late indeed.
Guys, guess what? I just discovered last night that pretzels are actually waterproof. Like I dipped them in a soup and it didn't get soaked. The water just like not flow out, just like repelled against the pretzels. So my pretzel is like dried.
So,
I dipped it in a soup.
2 questions. A, what were you doing with a pretzel in a soup? And 2, really waterproof?
How do you eat your pretzel?
Well,
It's very dry, so it's not
you cut it in half, you put a bit of butter and then you eat it.
Really?
Well, that's how I do it.
I'd be like tearing pieces and put in my soup, in my miso soup, guys. I know Alex gonna kill me. It's like that's not what we do. It is nice, try it, but it's waterproof.
You must choke on bits of pretzels in your soup.
No, I like. Do you know how you like bread and soup? You dip your roll in the soup.
Yeah, but those are croutons.
No, some people use like roll and just dip it. You know, get roll soup and bread,
Yeah.
and then you dip the bread
But
in
the
the
pretzel's
soup.
not bread, is it?
Is it not?
Well, I don't believe it is.
It's made from dough.
Yeah, but doesn't mean, you make loads of things from dough. You make biscuits from dough.
You have a bread texture.
Okay, we're going to come back to you guys on this. We're just going to Google it. So, guys, after a quick Google search, we discovered that pretzels actually aren't bread. They are pastries.
Well, new things every day you learn, guys. So next time, if you want a pastry, get a pretzel.
Well, yeah. Or if you just fancy a pretzel, get a pretzel.
But how it's not a bread, it's a pastry. To me, pastry needs to be flaky, like... I can't pronounce the name, croissant?
Wait, what now?
Croissant.
Yeah, croissants.
Yeah, I could not pronounce it, but that is like, how's that? So that's to me, pastry needs to be flaky and a puff pastry.
Well, no, but you know how they do it is basically they get the dough and they roll it. Then they put some butter and they fold the dough in half. They roll it again flat, put some butter, roll it in half, and they do that about 16 times. So they get the layers, and then when they cook it, it's how you get all those little different layers of the
So they
croissant.
use lots and lots of butters.
Not necessarily. You can get the plain croissant, or you can get a buttered croissant.
But then you will like, some people will like put it in the oven, make it hot, and then put butter in between them.
Wait, what now?
Croissant.
Yeah?
People eat it with butter, like cut into half,
Yeah?
like put butter in it.
Yeah?
But there's already butter in it.
Not necessarily. If it's a plain croissant, there's no butter in it. Well,
But you
there's
see when
gonna
you
be-
make the pastry, they put
Well,
butter.
yeah, that's the difference between a plain and a buttered croissant. A buttered croissant, you put the butter between the pastry each time you do the rolls. A plain croissant, I don't know how to do it, but I don't think they put butter in.
But how do they get the flaky bit? The layers.
Probably add some flour in each layer. Or just roll it many times and put on each side and just roll it afterwards.
But that would be counterproductive if you roll it and then just lay it on top. The layer wouldn't be separating.
I don't know how to do it. I'm not a baker.
So anyone wants to give us suggestions on how to make normal
plain
croissants? Sorry guys, any of the French listeners, I'm sorry I could not pronounce that word.
Try it.
Croissant?
Yeah, that's good enough.
Oh my god! Life success number 1 starting today.
It's pronouncing croissant.
Croissant. Okay, now it's not correct anymore, is it?
No, it's still fine.
Croissant. See, I went to France twice and I could not say the word because I'm scared they'll be angry at me. So I just said, point, I want that one. It worked. I didn't anger anyone and I got my croissant and I was happy.
Well, you didn't anger anyone that you know of. They were probably annoyed they just pointed at it without pronouncing it. Saying, oh, I want that thing.
Probably. But they didn't show it to me. Like, they didn't like portray. I can't say the word now. Portray the angerness to their action or facial expressions. Like, they still serve me. So I'm not angry.
Yeah, but that's just called business. Well, you can be angry at you cannot like a person coming into your business shop and buying something, but you're still going to serve them because you need the cash, or you don't really need it, but you want it.
I thought when you feel proper angry, just flip the table like whoosh, everything fly everywhere. Like I'm so angry.
That would be counterproductive to the business itself.
Well, they're French. You can make more pastries.
Okay, stereotypes. No.
No. Yeah, you're like half French and you don't have the accent. The French accent.
I mean, I can speak like this if you prefer. Just
yes!
to make the French accent.
It's so much better!
Why?
French experience for my half French friend.
I hope you don't want me to talk like this for the rest of the podcast, because this is going to be very hard to do.
It's very amusing. Guys, do you want him to speak like that for the rest of the podcast?
Please say no. Please.
We'll see the vote on Twitter or Instagram. So
Twitter.
Make sure you comment and
on
vote.
On Twitter.
Wait, you can't vote on Instagram?
No, you can't.
Okay, I just found that out as well.
You can make polls on Twitter, which is easy.
How?
But you make a poll. There's an option.
Okay, this is too new to me.
I'll show you after.
Okay. So participate in our poll, guys.
Participate on social media. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, soon to be Facebook.
And listen our podcast on Spotify now and our website.
On SoundCloud and also on our own website, student-life-in-labs.co.uk. And we soon to be on Apple Music or podcast, really. Well, we hope to be. We submitted it, we don't know yet. Now, we come to a part of the show where we describe and discuss about
Leaders biomedical science research.
Yes.
Woo! So, Alex, what is it you want to share with us?
So I brought in this week a paper that one of my research people found for the last journal club we had in the Bachmann lab. This paper is titled Disposable and Flexible Electrochemical Sensor Made by Recyclable Materials and Low-Cost Conductive Ink, which means that in this paper they have found a way to reproduce the electrodes that we use in our lab. So if we use DropSense electrodes, I'm not going to say the specific model, but we use electrodes from DropSense to measure for our experiments. And the people from this lab have found a way to reproduce similar electrodes by creating them from recycled materials. So they used recycled plastic, and then they used graphite powder to make the conductive electrodes, and we're still using a silver counter electrode. And to make the graphite ink, they used a very, very common product.
Pencil ink. The pencil.
No, nail polish. They use nail polish mixed with graphite powder to make graphite ink, and that is used for It's printed onto the recycled plastic to make the electrode.
Wow, that sounds awesome. So it is plastic. Is it just any type of plastic or a specific kind of plastic?
I haven't had much time to look into this paper today, but I believe it is recyclable plastic.
Like all in general? Do you like the cling film? Can you recycle that? Those kind of things?
I don't think you can recycle cling
Like the
film.
packaging for the, say, food?
I read a paper from well, it depends for who recycles it, one, and two, for Edinburgh. I believe that if it's bigger than one of those plastic cups, the small ones, it can be recycled. If it's anything smaller than the can flip, to open your can, like a can of Coke, that little thing on the top, if it's smaller than that, there's no point recycling it because there's no way they can do it.
Oh, I never knew that. I just chuck everything in a recycling bin. It's like, oh, plastic, oh, recycle.
Then, yeah.
So, do you use nail polish mixed with graphite to make the graphite you're talking about?
Graphite ink.
Graphite ink.
Yes.
So, technically, we could paint that on my nails now and I have black nails.
You would have black conductive nails.
Ooh, that sounds like a bionic woman!
Yeah, but that's not the application of a study. So they verified the conductivity through several EIS measurements, which EIS stands for electrochemical impedance spectroscopy measurements, where they tried to find the impedance caused by the binding of a target onto the electrode itself. Then they also used electron microscopy to verify the coverage of the electrode. So overall, this is a very good study that demonstrate that we can actually produce recyclable electrodes, well, not recyclable, but recycled electrodes from graphite powder, nail polish, and recycled plastic, obviously using a printer to put the ink onto the electrode itself. But still, that is something that is possible to do.
That is helping the environment.
In a way, yeah.
In a way, yeah. So recently, our university, which is the University of Edinburgh, had been listed as a finalist for the Green Gown Awards, which means that we are putting effort in making our campus green.
Good. So is that for recycling and stuff like that?
Yeah, recycling. And initially, they have a initiative for like USA, which is Edinburgh Student Union Association. They have shops which sell packaging-free dry food like pasta and beans and rice. So students just come to the shop with their own container and buy the food according to their weight instead of
That's a good idea.
Plastic. Yeah. So they have two. One is in King's Building, in the KB House, and the other one is near David Hume Tower in the Central Campus.
I think I saw it when we went to the underground room.
Yeah, we walked past it, yeah. It looks
also,
fascinating.
For lab groups out there, I have recently learned that the University of Edinburgh is also encouraging that the lab groups become green through different processes. And there's actually a competition each year, and part of the competition is that winners get some funding prizes. I'm unsure of the details, but I would suggest you Google them on the university website.
So what's your lab been doing in the initiative to go green?
Well, so far we've started to put some of our protocols in tablet form. So like let's use less paper. We're already really green because we don't use as much one-time use things like Eppendorfs and stuff. Yeah. The only things we use one time is Eppendorf tubes, which need to be RNase free for experiments, and so PCR grade Eppendorfs and pipette tips. After the chemicals also, but they're not really one-time use because we use only really tiny amounts of the chemicals each time we do experiments.
All right. That's again different from my lab setting because, as you all know, that I'm doing a computer lab-based project.
So there's literally no lab benches, is there, in your group?
No, we don't have benches. No, we just have computers, and that's about it. Our group tried to go green by using electronic lab books, so we don't have a physical book.
Yeah, we still have the physical books at the moment.
Yeah, ours is not. We just initially my supervisor, Emily Senna, decided that we should use Microsoft Teams. I never heard of it before till last week, and it's so exciting. You can attach your OneNote in the folder that created for you in the Teams.
Yeah.
And then there's Planner.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew you can do like to-do list. I've been doing it manually.
Well, that's good then, because we've created a Teams folder for our podcast too.
I know, and I just found out yesterday you can do chats on it. I was like, what is this messaging coming in? I was confused.
I know, because I've been sending you messages and no replies.
Because I don't know how to reply. I just saw it coming in my screen, and then like after me getting excited, and then it just disappeared, and I was like, I don't know where it went, and I don't know what to do with that.
Well, at least I know it wasn't intentional that you ignored me for so many days.
Yeah, it must be almost a week now.
Yeah, at least minimum.
I just don't know how to comprehend it, guys. So no, I'm not ignoring Alex here. Don't worry, we're still pals.
There's still the learning curve coming with a new product. But yeah, anyway, thank you very much for listening, guys. I will attach the link to a paper in every platform. So hopefully it'll sync to every platform we're submitting the podcast to. So Spotify, SoundCloud and Apple Music. So thank you very much, guys, once again. Do participate in social media, and thank you very much for those who have participated, shared, commented, liked our social media posts.
And also, if you want to be part of our podcast as a guest, feel free to fill in the form on our website.
Yes,
and we will contact you.
You should find the website at the following link: student-life-in-labs.co.uk, and you want to go to register interest and specify, if you can, which interest you'd like to register to. Thank you very much.
Thank you again for listening. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.